in the last 6 months. We've been told that last year they made £82 million, and this year they expect to make more. Last year they paid the chief executive £1 million. This year they expect to pay the chief executive more. We think maybe even more than £2 million. This organisation, Serco, are refusing to pay a 30p pay rise that would cost them an additional £500,000.
Okay, so we've got 2 weeks.
That's a quarter, or less than a quarter, of the wages of one of their chief executives.
I was thinking like maybe doing
That's less than 100th of their profit last year. There's a reason why they're having the meeting here. This is JP Morgan, a company that specialises in helping these sorts of companies make the maximum and pay the minimum tax. In the basement of this building there is a vault full of gold. Gold that's been earned by workers doing jobs like cleaning and portering. Gold that is kept in that vault for companies like Serco. Gold which they probably haven't paid proper tax on. Gold that they are refusing to give even a few ounces of to pay
are you around next week?
just to keep workers at the same standard of living for the next year. That's what 30p represents. I'm going to read a letter that we've been handing out today, which has been signed by John McDonnell, who is the Shadow Chancellor. When the Labour Party win the next election, he will be the Chancellor. Okay, it'll take a little time, but I hope you'll think it's worth it. This is to the shareholders of Serco, NHS Trust. Serco became the new employer of workers in soft services in 4 of the Trust hospitals in late 2016, early 2017. As a new employer, Serco made it clear to workers unions, Unite and Unison, that pay would be negotiated separately from the NHS pay review. Unite surveyed their members and an overwhelming 92% supported a pay rise of 30p an hour. The average pay of Serco workers is approximately £10 an hour. This 3% claim is just below current inflation and would merely prevent these low-paid workers becoming worse off in real terms over the next year. Serco did not respond to the claim. It was only when Unite issued notice to ballot on industrial action after the pay anniversary had passed that Serco met with the unions to offer a 1% rise on basic pay. Neither Unite the unions nor Unison accepted this very poor offer. Unite the union members voted by 99% to strike for pay, seeking 30p an hour increase and in opposition to job cuts and increasing workload. Serco have seen fit to employ agency staff and workers on short-term fixed contracts to do the work of striking workers. Many of those striking have worked for the NHS for decades. They are vulnerable, valued members of the NHS community who feel betrayed by their new employer, ignoring their just demands. They are also angry that Serco have been using agency staff to cover their work during the strike. Public support for these workers is high. People are upset that your company has a profit forecast of 82 million for this year and will pay your chief executive up to 2 million, but refuses to spend an additional 0.5 million it would cost to pay the hospital cleaners fairly. I urge you as Serco management, I urge you to ask Serco management to meet the Berks hospital workers' demands and end this damaging and unnecessary dispute in our NHS.
Exactly.
Signed, John McDonnell, Shadow Chancellor. There is no doubt how you feel about what's going on after this morning's protest. So I'm going to hand over to Len Hockey, who's the branch secretary of the Berks Health branch and the union rep at Whipscott Hospital.
Sisters and brothers, it's an enormous pride I feel today to address this magnificent rally and to be a member of a fighting back trade union like Unite, with a branch that has put forward a strategy to raise up from the dirt those workers who provide vital links in the chain of care delivered to every patient in the 4 of the East London hospitals that we represent. And I want to applaud you, and I think we should applaud ourselves for this magnificent action and the prosecution of the campaign so far. Sisters and brothers, we are attaining national media coverage in this dispute, not because we are strong, because we are. Not because we are brave, because we are. Not because we are determined to see this through to a successful conclusion, because we will, but because our action, our demands, chime with and reflect the experiences of low-paid workers the length and breadth of Britain over the past 7 years. We are conducting a campaign which, along with sisters and brothers in other disputes like the Bank of England, the fighters in the British Airways, the mixed fleet dispute, low pay and the policy of austerity is failed. It's failed workers in this country, it's failed our families, and it's failed the economy, and it's on the way out, and we are part of that victory that will defeat it. I think the strategy that we've pursued over the course of the last few weeks has been a correct strategy. The resolve and determination and the festive mood on our picket lines has inspired communities that hospitals are based in and workers in other trade unions. Our strike committee has taken correct decisions all through this dispute. We've escalated, we've maintained the pressure, and this company will hear us, and now I understand from last night are keen to meet us and talk again. We will talk, we will engage in discussion from a position of strength. That's the way we've conducted ourselves and how we've got ourselves this far, and that's the way we'll conduct ourselves and win this dispute for a modest cost of living increase and for the right to be treated with respect and dignity for the jobs we do. Solidarity.
They started before this strike and they've been showing the rest of the labour movement how you should fight, often newly organised workers as well. And I'm going to ask Simeon to come and speak about their dispute now.
Morning. Wow. It's such an amazing view. You should all try coming up here looking at yourselves, or we should have a giant mirror. I don't know, this is amazing. I'd like to thank Serco, all you guys fighting against such a tough enemy. We know what it's like. Today is our 57th day of strike action. What I'd like to share with you, and I know you all feel the same, is we won't stop until the company meet our reasonable demands. You know, you're asking for a 30 pence an hour cost of living pay increase from a company. Focus on these big firms, we're going to focus on the Conservatives, and we're going to fight until their friends in the corporations meet our demands. Anyone else coming up? Oh yeah, give us a shout. So I'm not quite done, I thought someone else was going to come. I want to say thank you for all of the hard work you do in the NHS. Your pay cuts is because of privatisation. The company we work for have just announced profit increase of 37%. When I first read it, I thought it was a joke, that there was something wrong. 37% is astronomical increase in profits. That's the half-yearly result for IAG, who own British Airways. At the same time, our members have a real terms pay cut of 2.9%. If you look at my back, you will see the salary, £12,192. At the same time, last year, executives of British Airways had a pay rise of 18%. So that's why we're here today, and that's why we'll continue to work together in solidarity. Today we have Serco, St. Bart's, British Airways and Mixed-Fleet all coming together, fighting low. You couldn't have that name. I know I'm in good company, so I wouldn't dare swear at any of you. Okay.